ioptician software demo video 1.
Patient search and patient details. Hello. Welcome to ioptician software. This is just a quick demo, showing some basics of the program. As you can see, the front screen has some options that are commonly used. Pressing the operations button opens up some more options. Some more options, which we shall cover later on. So, let's start off with looking at the patient search facility, and the record card. The patient search button is pressed. This will bring some options, on how you may want to search for the patient. Similar matches to the data entered appear. This can help pick out patients, whose names appear similar. Other essential information is also shown, such as, those patients, who are overdue an eye examination, have dates that are in pink, and those, that do not need one at present, are in the color green. Now, for an example, let's click on a patient called Amy Smith. This will enter us into the patient's record card. The information here, as you can see, is mostly straightforward. But, certain boxes that are important become familiar once you start using them. The recall date box is an important box. This box is updated automatically by the optician during the test, but can also be manually changed. This date is used to generate recall reminders and letters. Information about appointments are shown here. Any future appointments that need to be made are also made by using this section. There are many small need features, which can sometimes be seen by hovering over a box. For example, this one here quickly prints out a letter with appointment details, which can be handed over to a patient instead of an appointment card. The patient screen also allows us to print out relevant forms, which will save a lot of time. For example, you can print a GOS1 form by pressing this button. Another example is the private side test prescription form, which prints out the prescription on a professional format.
ioptician software demo video 2. History and symptoms, refraction, and clinical information.
The front page on this tab shows the most recent test. The numbers here indicate that this patient has had 4 previous tests. We can scroll through these using the arrows. This is if we need to see previous test data. Data from past eye tests is locked, and can only be edited once the special passcode is entered. This helps protect previous test data. The optometrist can now change the data as needed for today's eye test. The other boxes can be similarly edited, if need be. We would then proceed to the next tab, which is refraction. The top third shows the last eye examination results. The rest is self-explanatory. We create a new test by pressing the appropriate button located in the right corner. As you can see, the last eye exam result moves to the top half, making way for today's test. The boxes that are relevant for today's date are highlighted in yellow. The blank boxes in subjective can be filled, or alternatively, to make this faster, the last test results can be copied. The copied data is then easily changeable to today's refraction results. The boxes can be filled out swiftly and in order by using the Tab button. This section also has an extra time saver. The first part of the number is all that is required. The program will input the rest for you. For example, in the visions, typing in 15 then pressing tab, will convert it to 6/15. And for the sphere, typing in -1, will input with the zeros automatically. Once the subjective is filled, we can easily copy the results over to the final prescription box. The next test date is also automatically generated when we do this. The next test date was set accordingly. But we will again get an opportunity to change this recall date in the next test tab, as you will soon see. The next page is where we record the internal and external eye examination results. We again have the option to browse through previous examinations, if need be. Again, we create a blank record, and then copy the last test information if we want to. We can now make the changes for today's examination. The additional tests page is where we finish the eye examination. This time, just for an example, we will not copy the last test using this button, but we'll just work with the blank form. Double-clicking here works out the average IOP value, and also automatically timestamps the measurement. The recall date for the patient can be readjusted using this section. During the subjective refraction, the recall had been automatically set to 12 months. However, just for an example, we can change the recall date to 6 months by using this section.
ioptician software demo video 3. Dispensing.
The dispensing module along with the till function is found on the next tab. Details of the last dispense are displayed. This patient has 5 previous dispenses. These can be viewed with the scroll arrows. To start a new dispense, and also input the refraction results from today's eye examination into the dispense record, we press this button. The prescription can be filled out for 1 or 2 dispenses. The frame details can be inserted manually, or if stock has been inserted into the system from before, we can choose from the drop-down list. By using the stock via the drop-down, we can monitor stock levels and cost of sales more accurately. Any NHS vouchers and NHS eye tests which are inputted into the dispense, are also automatically listed into a separate module. This module monitors all GOS forms that are ready to be sent for payment. We will cover this module later. The Due button shows any amounts the patient may have outstanding. Any payments to be made are inputted, and a receipt can be printed out. The details of the dispense can be printed to give to the lab for glazing.
ioptician software demo video 4. Referral letter and other options on patient screen.
Sending a referral letter with all of today's test details is very simply done, by pressing this button. All the details from the eye examination have automatically been inserted. The referral letter is ready to be edited, then either printed, or even directly sent via email. The yellow GOS voucher can easily be printed if required. Previous test records can be printed using this section. To create reminder letters, or to output recalls to an Excel database, we enter into Operations. Here, we find many other report functions needed to help run the practice. Any patients due a test between any two dates can be entered. These dates are also logged into the system, which can help us to monitor past and any future recall outputs. In this example, 16 patients have been identified as needing a reminder for an eye examination between the two dates we previously specified. Any patients who may coincidentally have a future appointment booked into the diary, will obviously not flag up in this reminder list. We can choose the output as an Excel file, or as an automatic mail merge onto a letter-headed format. Any patient under 16 years of age, will automatically have the appropriate salutation applied to their reminder letter. All 16 letters are now ready to be printed. After printout we can choose to log this output just done. The log has recorded the reminder we just did. This also helps tell us which date would be appropriate to start our next reminder date from. We also have the option to send any patient's second reminders, which we would do at a later date. Reports for SIS very easily created on the system. The output can be in an Excel database or in the reports format, which can be helpful for reviewing daily sales and for accounting purposes. The sales figures are made up of the different parts contributing to it. A summary of the totals is included on the last page. We can also create reports for daily cash flow and for the tilling up, using the daybook report. This can also be done over a larger date range if needed. We can see that the payments made between the dates we specified, are split into sections. Those payments made by cash are at the top, and the total of the cash payments are shown in the red box. Those payments that were made by other methods can also be seen separately. This helps to tally up the dates for payments made by patients. Like we cash up the till, we can also tally up our GOS vouchers. The system can produce reports which will tell you how many GOS 1, 3 and 4 forms the practice should have. We can do this for producing daily reports or even for longer periods. The GOS reports can include info for any period between two dates. We can choose GOS 1 reports, which will show any patients that have immediately had an NHS test, or choose all other vouchers types. These will show on the report when the glasses for the voucher are collected by the patient. Here we have an example for the GOS1 forms for NHS exams done on a specific date. Here we have an example for the GOS3 and 4 forms that are now claimable for a specific date, as NHS spectacles were collected on that date.
ioptician software demo video 6. GOS monitoring module.
We also have a live GOS monitoring module. Here we can keep a track of all the different GOS forms and on their progress. For example, with the GOS1 forms, all the GOS1 forms that the practice should physically have, that are ready to be sent off for claiming, can be seen on this first tab page. Those GOS1 forms that have previously been sent for claiming can be seen on this second tab. Those GOS1 forms that were sent off and thereafter were paid by the NHS can be found in the third tab. To move any patients from one list to the next together with a timestamp is very easily done. For example, at the end of the month, at the time when the practice will send all forms for claiming, the physical forms will be matched with the ready lists seen in this section of the program. In this example, for the GOS1 forms, the date of those forms we will be sending will be marked with the sent date. In our made-up example, the system shows that the first patient on the list is ready to be sent. However, as the physical form for this patient had a patient signature missing, we will not be sending this form today. However, all the other patients in the list had all details completed, and so we will be sending them today for claiming.
Marking the dates on the ones we are sending can simply be done by double-clicking the date box on the first patient form we are sending. All subsequent patient forms under this can have a date entered very quickly by simply pressing the Enter button on the keyboard. By pressing the Enter button repeatedly, we can swiftly get through all the forms we are sending in a matter of seconds.
The list in the example was sorted with the test date. If however the physical forms were ordered alphabetically, we can simply press the Patient button, which would then sort out the list in this section in alphabetical order. After entering the dates, we can see those ones we just marked, move to the Sent list, by clicking on the next tab. When the NHS pay the practice for the forms that were sent to them, we can return to our GOS sent list and mark off those patient forms that were paid. Any unpaid forms will not be marked. In this example, we will just pretend that we have been paid today. However, this step usually takes place the month after when payment has been made to the practice. Again, when we move to the GOS1 paid list, these marked off forms will move to the paid list. The 3 forms we just marked off as paid have now moved to this alphabetically ordered paid list. We can see one of the patient forms that we just marked off here. We can now return back to the sent list, so that we can make notes on the forms that we were expecting to also be paid, but for whatever reason were not paid. The reasons for not being paid can be filled out on each record. These forms can then be chased up, so that they can be resent for payment once the necessary parts are filled out correctly. As we have done with the GOS1 forms, we can also do the same for GOS3, 4 and hospital vouchers. This module therefore helps to give us up-to-date information about all our GOS payments. This helps to keep a close eye on all forms, saving time, and more importantly making sure no forms get left unpaid, especially in the case of any delays.
ioptician software demo video 3. SMS text, diary.
ioptician software is also capable of sending out text reminders as well as email reminders for different things. We have developed our software to work and sync with a third-party Android application downloadable on mobile phones. All text messages that are inputted on the system are automatically picked up by the application on the Practice Mobile. The app will then automatically send out the specific reminder to the patient via SMS message and also via email. The app does not charge for any text or email send. It uses the text available on your mobile bundle. This way, the practice can send out many messages without having to worry about the cost of sending these text reminders. The system diary is also very user-friendly and also very flexible. We will very briefly just touch upon the diary, and highlight some of its features. Managing the diary and clinic times are done in this section. Optician testing days are added, and the clinic times are set. We can see on this particular day, the optometrist Mr. is booked in for a 20-minute clinic, with only 14 5-minute slots still available in his clinic. Times that we do not want to book patients in are easily blocked from before. Free slots, including their times, can easily be seen. To book a patient into the diary, we must go into their record. We then click the Appointments button. We confirm whether it's an eye test or contact lens check. Then confirm times and duration. If the text messaging facility has been set up, then the patient will now get a text message and an email with the test details. We can also easily print out test details by simply double-clicking the green test date box. The test just booked in can be seen booked into the diary. Once set up, ioptician software is automatically backed up onto the cloud on a daily basis, so you can be sure that your data is safe. The software can be installed on multiple computers at one site, at no extra cost. This video has only briefly touched upon some of the main outlines of the program to give potential customers a rough idea of the program's capabilities. There are many more features that we have not been mentioned at all in this video. We highly recommend you contact us via our webpage for your free no-obligation trial. This will give you much more time to see the true potential of the program. Once your trial is installed, we will also send you a video playlist of the user manual for the video, which will take you through the program in more detail. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.